저희 회사는 1983년도에 설립된 회사고요. 산호세에 있습니다. 그 실리콘밸리 산호세에 있고요. 그리고 저희 회사는 아날로그 회사죠. 그러니까 보통 맥심을 부를 때 그냥 아날로그 회사다 그렇게 부르는 보통 불려지고요. 뭐 이런 저희랑 동료 및 경쟁 업체로 봐서는 리니어 테크놀로지라든지 아날로그 디바이스, TI 그런 데가 저희의 피어 컴퍼니라고 말할 수 있습니다. 그리고 직원이 8,300명 정도 되고요. 그리고 디자인 센터로 그러죠. 테크놀로지 센터가 14개 나라에 있는데 이거는 이제 보통 우리가 말하는 반도체 IC 디자인 센터. 그리고 한국에도 이게 한 개가 있어요. 우리 바로 사무실 길 건너에 한 40여 명이 지금 있습니다. 한국에. 그리고 저희 매출은 23억 불 정도 되고요. 저희 주식 수 곱하기 이제 주가가 마켓 캡이겠죠. 그래서 거의 10빌리언 정도 되는 회사입니다. 그러니까 30년 정도 되는 회사예요. 아날로그만 30년 정도 만드는 회사입니다. 그리고 이거는 20년 동안 뭐 쾌거로 이렇게 지금 보여주는 매출의 성장을 보여주는 거고요. 이거는 이제 달라스 세미컨덕터라는 회사를 합병했을 때 그랬고, 이제 경제가 안 좋았을 때, 전 세계적으로 경제 안 좋았을 때 꺾어졌다가 요즘은 약간 플랫한 편이에요. 이게 많이 그로잉을 하지는 못하고 있는데 이제 여러 가지가 이유가 있어요. 근데 이제 어떤 큰 이유 중에 하나가 저희 큰 고객사인 국내 모바일폰 회사가 실적이 안 좋아지면서 그쪽으로 좀 저희가 많이 하고 있는데, 그러니까 이제 좀 이렇게 올라가는 게 약간 주춤해진 상태입니다 지금. 그리고 지난 12개월 동안 레베뉴 바이 마켓을 보여주는 건데 4분의 1 정도가 커뮤니케이션 앤 데이터 센터. 이게 커뮤니케이션 앤 데이터 센터라는 거는 이제 기지국이라든지 뭐 어떤 그런 거 하고, 데이터 센터는 요새 굉장히 많이 부밍을 하고 있죠. 지금 뭐 예를 들어서 뭐라 그럴까요? 그 서버 클라우드 컴퓨터 같은 것들, 그러니까 뭐 구글이나 아마존이나 뭐 어떤 그런 바이두나 그런 커다란 온라인 쇼핑이라든지 어떤 커뮤니케이션 회사들이 모든 그 데이터를 처리할 수 있게 그 서버를 많이 설치하잖아요. 그러니까 그 시장이 굉장히 지금 커지고 있고요. 저희가 그쪽에 굉장히 경쟁력 있는 솔루션을 가지고 있어요. 그래서 저희도 같이 커버 있는 거고, 인더스트리얼 앤 메디칼은 뭐 잘 알다시피 공장 자동화 기기라든지 뭐 메디칼, 뭐 한국에서도 그 삼성 메디슨 있죠. 저희가 상당히 큰 매출을 내고 있습니다. 이쪽에 메디칼 쪽에. 그리고 컴퓨팅이 굉장히 많이 줄어들고 있고, 모든 분들이 알다시피 이제 노트북 같은 것들이 줄어드는 바람에, 그리고 이제 오토모티브가 굉장히 지금 크고 있는 마켓이죠. 그래서 한 1년 전만 해도 맥심의 오토모티브는 5%도 안 됐었는데 지금은 10% 정도로 많이 올라가 있고요. 그다음에 여전히 모빌리티 쪽이 그래도 꽤 큰 편입니다. 모빌리티라는 거는 우리나라에 있는 회사들, 삼성이나 LG나 또 애플 뭐 그런 회사들에서 나오는 매출이 34% 정도 된다고. 그리고 이거는 뭐 다 아시는 것들인데, 이제 전화기 80년대, 2000년대 그리고 지금 2020년대를 바라보고 있는 투데이에 대해서 설명을 하는 거죠. 옛날에 이제 커다란 도끼 같은 그 아날로그 폰에서 디지털 폰으로 넘어왔다가 지금 스마트폰으로 돼 있고, 컴퓨터도 286, 386, 486 그런 거 하다가 지금 그 랩탑 갖다가 지금은 뭐 태블릿 뭐 그런 쪽으로 많이 가 있죠. 그리고 옛날에 기지국들이 막 엄청나게 커다란 전봇대에 막 주렁주렁 매달려 있다가 이 주유소 꼭대기에 이제 매달려 있다가 이제는 건물 같은데 이렇게 바깥에 보이지도 않게 조그맣게 다 매달려 있잖아요. 이런 전송 장비들이. 그래서 어떤 그런 것들이 발전을 보여주고 있는 거고, 그리고 칩 자체도, 아날로그라는 칩 자체도 옛날부터 일을 많이 하시던 분들은 옛날 마더보드 보면 이만해가지고 칩이 막 수백 개가 붙어 있잖아요. 그 하나하나 다 뭐 앰프라든지 데이터 컨버터, 인터페이스 이런 것들이 다 따로따로 다 있다가 시스템 솔루션이라고 그걸 갖다가 또 패키지로 만들어서 이렇게 조합을 잘 시켜가지고 좀 가장 최대의 효과를 내게 어떤 그런 솔루션을 갖다가 또 만들었다가 이제 그런 걸 갖다가 원칙으로 그냥 해버리는 그런 것도 뭐 여러분들 아시다시피 인테그레이션이 많이 진행되고 있고, 그래서 옛날에는 그 빌딩 블럭이라고 해서 이제 디스크리트 파트들 하나하나 칙들을 갖다가 계속 포트폴리오들이 올라가다가 갑자기 이제 시스템에 이제 저기 어떤 인플렉션 포인트, 커다란 변화의 포인트가 생기면서 시스템들도 작아지고 소모 전력도 적어지고 막 그러다 보니까 이제 인테그레이션이라는 거가 이루어져가지고 지금은 이제 마켓 시장에 인더스트리가 이제 인테그레이션이 된 칩을 쓰거나 시스템을 만드는 거가 굉장히 보편화되어 있다. 그것도 정도고요. 맥심 코리아에 대해서 간단하게 말씀드리면, 저희가 여기서 맥심 코리아에서 일어나고 있는 매출의 가장 큰 부분이 모빌리티 쪽이고, 그 다음에 오토모티브고, 세 번째가 인더스트리라고 말할 수 있어요. 아직도 모빌리티가 굉장히 많은 비중을 차지하지만 오토모티브 쪽이 굉장히 급속하게 커지고 있습니다. 그 맥심 코리아 비즈니스를 봤을 때. 그래서 뭐 한 예로 지금 BMS라고 그러죠. 전기차, HEV카나 EV카 뭐 그런 자동차, 새로 오는 자동차들이 지금 배터리 매니지먼트 시스템, 그런 어떤 그 자동차 EV카들의 그 배터리 매니지먼트 시스템이 거의 지금 80% 이상이, 새로운 디자인들은 거의 80% 이상이 다 맥심 걸로 되어 있어요. 그리고 뭐 아시다시피 얼마 전에 뉴스에서 나왔죠. 현대에서 그 프리우스 킬러라는 그 전기차 자체 플랫폼으로 지금까지는 소나타나 아반떼 같은 데다가 기존 프레임에다가 그 배터리를 집어넣어가지고 엔진이랑 배터리랑 같이 해가지고 하이브리드 카를 만들었었는데, 현대에서 이제는 전기차 독자적인 그 프레임을, 그러니까 뭐라 그래요? 그 샤시를 갖다가 아주 전기차 전용으로, 도요타 프리우스 같이. 프리우스는 엔진이 없거든요. 원래 엔진만 가는 차가 없어요. 프리우스는 뭐 그런 식으로 볼트라든지 그런 거 같이 전기차 전용으로 해가지고 A 프로젝트라고 그랬었는데, 그 이름이 정해졌어요. 프리우스 같이 이렇게 현대 전기차 이름이 1호 전기차니까 1호 전기차 전용 프레임이, 그 프로젝트가 내년 3월 정도부터 시작돼요. 그래서 이제 내년 초에는 현대자동차에서 올해 말부터 아마 전기차 광고를 엄청 할 거예요. 그게 전부 다 맥심 BMS 치고 쓴 겁니다. 배터리 매니지먼트 시스템 치고 쓴 거예요. 그게 이제 저희가 어떻게 보면 배터리 매니지먼트 시스템 IC들을 지금까지는 LTC가 다 장악하고 있었는데, 그게 이제 그 1호로 양산이 터지는 게 뭐 그거라고 볼 수 있어요. 그래서 오토모티브 쪽 굉장히 지금 크고 있고요. 인더스트리얼은 주로 이제 저희가 하는 게 아니라 우리 디스트리뷰터 대리점들이 하는 마켓들이 인더스트리얼 마켓이 굉장히 많이 지금 커버가 되고 있어요. 그리고 맥심 코리아는 96년도에 설립이 됐고, 약 50명보다 약간 좀 많죠. 50명 정도가 있고요. 그다음에 이제 여기 세일즈, FA, 커스터머 서비스, QA, 마콤, 뭐 그렇게 그런 기능들이 지금 여기 있어요. 그리고 구미 사무실이 있는데, 구미 사무실에는 주로 QA하고 FA들이 구미 삼성전자 같은데 팔로우할 때 거기 가서 일을 하죠. 그리고 디자인 센터가 2009년도에 설립이 됐고 약 40명 이상이 지금 있습니다. 그래서 여기는 디자인하고 레이아웃, 펌웨어하고 IC 테스트하는 기계까지 다 있어요. 바로 길 건너에. 이따 점심을 드시러 가시는 건물에 있습니다. M타워라고. 거기 1층에 그 중국집 옆에 그 반도체 테스터가 있어요. 방 하나, 테스터 전용으로 되어 있는 방이 있습니다. 그리고 디자인 센터는 6층인가 어디 뭐 8층? 3층이요. 그리고 지금 한국에서 이제 주로 웨어러블에 대해서 저희가 액티비티 하는 거를 봤을 때 솔루션 베이스로 보고 이제 어떤 현재 프로젝트 베이스로 봤을 때 솔루션은 파워 SoC 하고 MCU SoC, 이거는 웨어러블 전용으로 파워하고 MCU가 솔루션이 준비가 되어 있고요. 그거는 이제 데미안이 자세히 설명해 주실 거고, 바이오 센서, 웨어러블의 필수 불가결하게 들어가는 것들이 바이오 센서죠. 그러니까 이런 파워라든지 MCU들은 이 웨어러블 시계라든지 어떤 그런 것들을 작동을 시켜주는 거고, 그리고 파워를 주는 거고, 이런 어떤 CPU적인 역할을 하는 거지만 실제로 이렇게 몸에서 어떤 일이 일어나는지 하는 거는 센서가 다 붙어 있잖아요. 근데 맥심 센서가 웨어러블 전용으로도 있고 지금 프로모션을 많이 하고 있습니다. 특히 이제 허트레이트 모니터라든지 SpO2 산소 포화도, 그리고 대기 중에 UV 그 방도 같은 거 재는 거, 그 온도 템퍼레처 센서 같은 것들이 준비되고 있습니다. 그리고 그 바이오 센서 같은 것들은 여러분이 잘 아시는 갤럭시 폰에 들어가 있는 그 허트레이트 모니터라든지 SpO2 기능 뒤에 붙어 있죠. 갤럭시 전화기, 갤럭시 4, 5, 6, 그리고 노트 3, 4 뭐 그런 데에 다 붙어 있는 것들이 다 맥심 겁니다. 그 바이오 센서가. 그리고 프로젝트별로 봤을 때는 스포츠 앤 피트니스 이라는 줄기하고 이제 헬스케어하고 뷰티라는 두 개의 큰 줄기로 이제 웨어러블을 저희가 활동을 하고 있는데, 스마트워치라든지 스마트 이어플러그, 귀에다가 꽂는 그런 어떤 이어폰 같은 데서 허트레이트를 갖다가 잰다거나, 뭐 그런 식으로, 그러니까 이어폰도 되면서 이제 허트레이트 같은 것도 잴 수 있는 그런 기능을 가지고 있는 칩이라든지, 이것들은 골프 레인지 파인더 글라스하고 밴드가 있고, 피트니스 밴드, 이런 손 같은 데 차는 거죠. 스마트 셔츠는 이제 옷에 입으면 이런 데 센서가 붙어 있어가지고 전체를 갖다 보는 거고, 스킨케어 하는 거, 인바이런 모니터, 이거는 이제 뭐 예를 들어서 공기 중에 이산화탄소가 뭐 얼마나 있는지, 뭐 어떤 그런 것들도 지금 개발 중이며 또 일부 개발된 것도 있고요. 그다음에 헬스케어 밴드가 있고, 펄스 매트 같은 거, 웨어러블 펄스 매트, 자기 뛰고 있으면 맥박 같은 것들을 이렇게 뭐 시계나 그런 데가 나타낼 수 있는 그런 솔루션들이 지금 그런 프로젝트를 타겟해서 일을 하고 있습니다.
Hello everyone. Today I'll talk about wearable sports and fitness technology, and hopefully you'll learn about some market trends and some system-on-chip technology trends. But before I get started, I wanted to thank everyone, or the country of Korea, for hosting the President's Cup, which is a very big professional international golf tournament. And also it's interesting that it's the first time that it was hosted in an Asian country, so this is a very big milestone.
When?
In October.
Already done?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date, October 12th, maybe. But actually I watched it, so in the United States, I live on the East Coast, Philadelphia, so it's about 13 hours behind. So I was up at 3 a.m. in the morning watching it live. I didn't want to miss it. It was exciting. But golf is a good example of wearable technology. It's one of the first sports wearable devices that were out on the market. It tells you, it provides you with GPS information and range and elevation changes. So it's a good example of wearable sports technology and where we're going. So I'd just like to tell you what key topics we'll be covering today. The first is wearable sports technology market landscape, and that includes the market drivers, the different sports applications, and the different trends. And then I'll talk about system-on-chip technical trends for wearables. And I'll focus on two areas. One is compute SoC, the second is power SoC. And then I'll talk a little bit about the business ecosystem in terms of macro trends and collaboration that's needed in the ecosystem. And then we'll finish with a summary and a question and answer session. One key takeaway from our meeting today is that in the coming years, we can expect to see widespread adoption of wearable sports technology as a tool to promote healthy lifestyle. And that's really what's going to make wearable technology become a big market, is when the users get meaningful results from their wearable device. So this is our outline for today. We'll cover market drivers, applications, the market and applications trends, compute SoC. So this will be able to help us keep track on the topic that we're discussing. So first is market drivers. So really there are three trends driving the market. One is segment advocates, second is social impact, And the third is consumer interest. They're driving interest in sports and fitness, which in turn is driving interest in sport wearable devices. So first I'll talk about segment advocates. So the first group of segment advocates are the individuals, people like you and I, and the mobile generation, a demographic that's between the ages of 18 and 54, who make up 77% of all wearable device users. The second is our regional advocates. Every country around the world has a regional advocate. In the United States, it's, for example, the First Lady, Michelle Obama. She launched a campaign called Let's Move, which promotes exercise and activity for young people. And the third is our global advocates. For example, the United Nations has a campaign called Millennium Development Goals, which is championed by Ban Ki-moon, the United Nations Secretary General, and the purpose is to promote sports and fitness on a global basis. So together these forces come together and they promote sports and the benefits of sports and fitness, which has a social impact on everyone. So now we can talk about the social impact. The social impact is that there are benefits of sports and fitness. The first is quality of life. It's been shown that regular exercise builds resistance to some diseases. Also, team sports promote leadership and teamwork skills. And physical fitness promotes self-esteem and self-confidence, which leads to better mental health. The second benefit is an economic benefit. In the United States, the sports industry employs about 1.5 million people, which is about 1% of the gross domestic product. 1% of the United States payroll. In terms of revenue, sports is about a $700 billion business in 2014 worldwide. And in 2020, we expect wearable sports equipment to contribute $10 billion to the economy, growing at a compounded annual growth rate of about 103%. And the third is wellness. One example is safety and injury prevention, which I'll show you an example later. The other is conditioning and performance, where it's been shown that users of wearables rely on their wearable to promote regular exercise. So people who use wearables, they're reminded every day that they have to exercise, and they're immediately given feedback on how they're doing in terms of their performance level. And that's what this, excuse me. And then eventually, people make wearables an integral part of their healthy lifestyle. So the third market driver is consumer interest. So a recent survey has showed that in the United States and Europe, the highest interest for sensor-based wearables is for the wrist. The second highest interest level is in embedded clothing. So the consumer interest level is driving the wearable sports technology market. So now I'll just briefly cover some applications. There are basically three types of sports and fitness application. One is wristbands. The other is sensor embedded equipment. You can see the sensors embedded in the equipment here. And smart clothing. And I'll talk about the technologies used in smart clothing. I think we're all familiar with the first application of wristband devices, very common. For sports watches, they're used for golfing, running, swimming, very popular. And then fitness, people are using them for activity trackers to keep track of calories burned, steps counted. The second application example is embedded equipment. For contact sports like American football, ice hockey, or equestrian, awareness of head injury is very important. And there are examples of equipment now on the market that embed sensors, impact sensors in the helmet to alert coaches of a potential head injury. So we call it injury analysis. And then of course there are many examples of sensors embedded in equipment like a soccer ball and golf clubs, and the purpose is to act as a training aid to improve a player's performance. And the third is smart clothing. There are basically two popular technologies that are being used for smart clothing. One is woven, and the other is printed. Woven weaves conducted fibers within the garment that transmits and receives information from the sensors to a SoC. Printed technology prints using electronic ink into a garment, both sensors and conductors, and that connects it to an SoC. So examples are a smart shirt and a fitness shirt. So let me just quickly summarize some market and application trends. First, wristband devices will become much more powerful. The number of sensors or sensor density per device will increase on an average 3 times from what it is today. Also, we'll see integration of different communication technologies like near-field communications, NFC, be used as access control or mobile payment. Imagine you go out in the morning for a run. After you finish running, you want to buy a bottle of water. You don't have to carry your wallet or your smartphone. You can do mobile payment on your sports band. And then when you go back to work, you don't have your access badge. You can use your smart band to gain access to your office. The second trend will be equipment embedded fitness or equipment embedded sensors and edge analytics. Sorry about that. And the benefits of this will be used for movement tracking and performance data, as well as head trauma and injury awareness. And the big change is edge analytics, which means more of the data analysis will be done at the edge of the network as opposed to some remote cloud server node, which means access to data will be much faster and more relevant to the users. And the third trend we'll see is smart clothing with textile engineering. This will enable integration of more sensors into garments, and which will allow us to quantify ourselves. We'll understand better our physiological and environmental conditions. But the catalyst for all these trends is innovation in system on chip, and that's what we'll speak about next. So now we'll talk about compute SoC trends. Just to orient everyone, this is a typical block diagram of a wearable device. On the outside, there's a power SoC, connectivity either through Bluetooth Low Energy or NFC or GPS. Then there's an array of sensors, inertial, temperature, heart rate, and light. And then there's a human interface, whether it's a display, a keypad, or audio. And then over here is your energy source. And right now we'll talk about at the heart of every wearable is the MCU SoC. So the first trend with MCUs is related to memory. First, there's going to be requirement for more memory capacity. And this is driven by an increase in number of sensors. Earlier I mentioned that there's going to be a 3x number of sensors versus today. And basically that equates to about 4.1 sensors per device. The other is embedded algorithms and mobile applications on a wearable device, which requires more memory. And embedded algorithms are typically used to improve sensor performance and deliver some meaningful information to a user. The second trend is power efficient memory access. Obviously, because you have more memory, designers will need efficient ways to access the memory. So this means a peripheral management unit will be resident on the main MCU, which is a dedicated state machine used to offload the processor core and service memory and peripherals. The second big trend will be security. As wearable devices converge with the Internet of Things, they will be vulnerable to security attacks. The other is secure authentication, and this prevents device cloning as well as counterfeit protection. And the third is multiple layers of security or advanced security features will be needed. That includes cryptography and physical security, and a trust protection unit with encryption. These are the hardware blocks in an MCU needed to deliver multiple layers of security. There's instant memory erase, random number generator, pseudo-random number generator, tamper protection, unique identification, CRC generator, and AES engine. Together, these all deliver what Maxim calls a trust protection unit. And you'll see that in our new MCU. And this is an example of the 3 of those trends being integrated into a Maxim device, the MAX 32621, which is our ultra-low power MCU. There's a 8x increase in memory capacity from our previous generation. We have 2 meg of flash, 256K of SRAM, and 8x8 cache. And then there's a unique peripheral management unit that addresses memory access, which lowers power of the device by 30%. And then we have a trust protection unit to address security, which includes the hardware blocks that I just described. Next, I'll cover power SoC trends. Again, just to familiarize you, same block diagram we talked about earlier, and this is the power SoC. Interfaces with the battery, provides all the power to the subsystem, and also provides fuel gauging. So before I get into it, I think an important thing to understand is the operating profile of a wearable device and how it differs from a smartphone. A wearable device spends a lot of its time in standby mode and occasionally wakes up to do sensing and then communicate with the edge. Basically what this means is, in terms of battery consumption, standby mode consumes about 25% of the battery power. The other 50% is sensing and 25% communications. The second trend is load-optimized DC power regulators. As I mentioned, 75% of the battery consumption is when the wearable device is either sensing the surroundings or communicating with the network. And I guess to summarize, the reason these trends are important is because users want their wearable device to operate for the longest amount of time without having to recharge it. And when they do have to recharge it, they want to be able to charge it fast. So now we'll show how Maxim's addressing those 3 trends. This is the MAX 14676, our PMIC for wearables. So we have an embedded fuel gauge, which uses Maxim's proprietary model gauge algorithm. We have a smart battery charger, so that the device could charge from a USB port or another higher voltage power source up to 28 volts. And we integrate multiple very efficient, low quiescent current power regulators so that maximum efficiency in DC to DC conversion is achieved. Okay, so now we can talk about business ecosystem. Just to give you an idea of what's happening in the world, I think we're aware of some of this. You know, we started out with cloud computing, with servers in the cloud. And next we're seeing the Internet of Things. After that, we'll have big data, because the Internet of billions of connected devices in the Internet of Things will deliver a lot of important data. And then from big data, sports and fitness will evolve into what's called digital fitness, where big data will deliver meaningful results to help people live a healthier and better lifestyle. But to enable digital fitness, you need to have a business ecosystem. So let me just now we'll look at the ecosystem elements. First, there are cloud partners. Second, there's analytics, which is derived from big data. There's sensing at the at the wearable device of either physiological parameters or local environment. Then there's compute SoC on the wearable device. We need connectivity up to the cloud, and sometimes we need control of some element. So in order to realize the next generation of wearable sports and fitness devices that are useful, we'll need collaboration between all these ecosystem elements. One company cannot do it all. So we'll have to have coordination between the analytics, the cloud, the wearable sensing, and the network. A good example of this is Maxim just released the Max 32620 mbed development board. And if you look at it, it's basically a partnership between Maxim, ARM, cloud partners, and it basically takes this whole ecosystem together to allow our customers to develop some IoT platform, which could be a wearable sports or fitness device, and manage all these different elements easily. And just to summarize what the business ecosystem looks like, this is Maxim, SoC development, but then we have mobile apps developers. We have wellness programs at our work or at our doctor's office. We have OEM product development companies. I don't have to mention the names, but you know all the big ones. And then we also have professional groups like the IEEE and the ISOCC, which is International System on Chip Conference. It's a subgroup of the IEEE, and just for a note, I just presented there earlier this week on a similar topic. And then you also have personal coaches and trainers. And then there are businesses that provide sensor intellectual property, developers that specialize in really improving sensor performance and have algorithms that are valuable. And then, of course, there are data analytics developers. So partnerships with all these members of the ecosystem are very important. This is a good place to illustrate why security is important for wearables. So you can have an OEM product developer who license intellectual property from a sensor IP company, and in that wearable device, that proprietary algorithm needs to be protected for two reasons. One is the sensor guy, sensor IP provider wants to make sure their licensing agreement is met with the OEM, and the second reason is the OEM wants to make sure the algorithm is protected so that his competitor does not take advantage of it. So security is critical for wearable devices, and one example is intellectual property protection. And just the last thing about security, this is where Maxim is involved and where we help customers. We're protecting the security of the intellectual property for the sensor IP developer and the OEM with security features in our MCU. So just to summarize the ecosystem trends, we'll see much more business collaboration and partnerships. One example is mobile apps developers, they enrich the user experience. The easier it is for a person to use their wearable device, the more valuable that device is, and that's really what mobile apps development provides. And intellectual property, for example, for sensors can improve system performance, which gives the user much better and accurate information regarding their physiological condition. And coordination between all the apps, all the ecosystem partners will bring products to market much faster rather than having one company try to develop every single element within the ecosystem. So partnerships will be critical. And the second major trend is really more industry participation at conferences and events. For example, the IEEE, the ISOC, where people can share their thought leadership concepts, develop potential partnerships, and develop potential business relationships, and share knowledge related to system-on-chip technology. And finally, we got to the summary. So I think what we can say is that we'll see widespread adoption of wearables because of several reasons. One is that exercise promotes health, social, and mental wellness. We know that. And we know that wearable devices encourage people or users to participate in either regular exercise and fitness. And we know there are benefits from the quantified whole body. In other words, understanding more about our physiological condition will help us live healthier, happier lives. And behind all that is SoC advancements. They're the catalyst. Without MCU and power management advancements and sensor advancements, we can't realize the next generation of wearable devices. I think the final summary is that we really need to observe low power methodologies and multi-layer security, and this is really where Maxim's focusing its efforts for the wearable sports and fitness technology market segment. Well, thank you. I think we can have some question and answers now.